Acquiring practical knowledge and experience in brand creation and brand protection is a solid basis on which to develop one's expert status and become what Susskind referred to as superbly schooled and genuinely expert in the related field in which one seeks to work. Hello and welcome to the Brandtuned podcast, hosted by me, Shireen Smith, IP lawyer, marketer, and author of Brandtuned. The podcast focuses on how to design brands, avoiding commoditization and intersecting them with intellectual property during the creation process. How to move beyond your job role to trusted advisor. Lawyers are a profession that are increasingly challenged to identify their distinctive skills and talents and the capabilities they possess that cannot be readily replaced by advanced systems or by less costly workers supported by technology or standard processes. Although professionals like doctors, lawyers, teachers, accountants, tax advisors, management consultants, architects, journalists, and the clergy, among many others, play a central role in our lives, such that we can barely imagine different ways of tackling the problems that they sort out for us. Richard and Daniel Susskind predict their decline in the future of the professions, how technology will transform the work of human experts. The authors claim that we are on the brink of a period of fundamental and irreversible change in the way that the expertise of these specialists is made available in society. Technology will be the main driver of this change. And in the long run, we will neither need nor want professionals to work in the ways that they did in the 20th century and before. They argue that the professions are an artifact that we have built to meet a particular set of needs in a print-based industrial society. As we progress into a technology-based internet society, however, the professions in their current form will no longer be the best answer to those needs. We cannot afford them. They're often antiquated. The expertise of the best is enjoyed only by a few, and their workings are not transparent. For these and other reasons, the authors believe today's professions will be displaced by feasible alternatives. The authors argue that in an internet society, increasingly capable systems from telepresence to artificial intelligence will bring fundamental change in the way that the practical expertise of specialists is made available. While I digest the book, I wanted to mention it in this brief episode as I explore what lawyers and other experts can do to move up the food chain to become trusted advisors. The legal industry is the profession I'm most familiar with, but I'm sure you can probably see parallels to what's happening in the legal industry in your own field. The legal industry has already been transformed beyond recognition since the days when I first considered the solicitor's profession as an option. And yet Susskind argues that much more radical changes are on the horizon. When I was a teenager, lawyers were not allowed to advertise, and deregulation of the industry hadn't even begun. For example, they had a monopoly in many areas of life, such as buying and selling property. It's ironic that I opted to qualify as a solicitor, given that my impression of the profession back then was one of men sitting in dusty offices, poring over huge tomes. The combined effect of competition from technology, less costly workers, streamlined to work under more efficient processes, alternative methods of working, and sites like LegalZoom giving access to less expensive lawyer consultants have put the legal industry under considerable pressure to do more for less. Richard Susskind is a technology futurist who has been commenting on the future of law for many years. In his groundbreaking book, The End of Lawyers, he argued that the market is increasingly unlikely to tolerate expensive lawyers for tasks such as guiding, advising, drafting, researching, problem solving, and more. Foreseeing the erosion or elimination of the jobs of many traditional lawyers, Susskind predicted new law jobs emerging, which may be highly rewarding, even if very different from those of today. One such role he called the hybrid lawyer, who will become increasingly multidisciplinary in order to succeed. He described legal hybrids as being quite different to the lawyers of today, who already claim they are deeply steeped in neighboring disciplines as project managers, strategy and management consultants, market experts, deal brokers, and more. As Susskind puts it, these forays into other fields are not strategically conceived, formally planned, or supported by rigorous training. They are rather ad hoc and piecemeal initiatives. In contrast, legal hybrids of the future will be superbly schooled and genuinely expert in these related disciplines, and will be able to extend the range of the services they provide in a way that adds value for clients. Now, as someone who has spent the last 3 years, if not much longer actually, developing multidisciplinary skills through wider reading on business and brand, writing Brandtuned, the new rules of branding, strategy, and intellectual property, interviewing guests on this podcast on aspects of brand strategy and supporting clients with their brand strategy, I have developed a multidisciplinary outlook. As well as all that, I've done formal studies such as the Marketing Week mini MBAs in brand management and marketing, and attended the Level C masterclasses for certification as a brand specialist and brand strategist. In fact, I now feel equipped to offer training to other lawyers who want to offer brand strategy as a service in order to support their clients to develop better businesses and brands. Undergoing the Brand-tuned accreditation program will enable lawyers to fast-track their new skills in order to play a bigger role in their clients' lives and avoid the commoditization that many corporate and IP lawyers are now suffering from. Acquiring practical knowledge and experience in brand creation and brand protection is a solid basis on which to develop one's expert status and become what Susskind referred to as superbly schooled and genuinely expert in the related field in which one seeks to work, namely in marketing and branding in this situation. I've developed a prototype of the course that I'd love to discuss with lawyers, designers, copywriters, marketers, and others who are making a strategic decision to provide wider brand strategy services in order to move upstream and avoid commoditization of their expertise. Just head over to brandtuned.com to find out more. There's a link in the show notes. That's it for this week. Do subscribe to the Brandtuned newsletter to get weekly updates. I'd also love to get your feedback. Just send me an email to info@brandtuned.com. Finally, if you liked the episode, please do share it with your friends and colleagues and review it on iTunes or whichever platform you use to listen to podcasts. If you leave us a 5-star review, it means more people will listen and we can spread the word much more quickly about the podcast. Thank you and bye for now.